As an investor, you have had to sit across the table from entrepreneurs making decisions and judgments on their business, and making judgments on whether they're making good decisions in these moments of crisis. Things like cutting staff costs, furloughing, trimming the budget. What sticks out in your mind for advice that you might offer? And in an environment where raising capital might be more challenging, how do you decide how to allocate capital?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think the first thing I look for in an entrepreneur, whether they're at a company, a foundation, or any type of organization, is do they have a plan? And I try to stress test that plan with them, figure out have they thought about contingencies? Is this a credible plan? How much thought's been put into it? And then once we've kind of got a good handle of what the plan looks like, I try to figure out how honest I think this entrepreneur is being, not just with me, but with themselves. Do they really have certainty about everything? And I think this COVID crisis is a great example. I think any entrepreneur who feels like they really have a lot of certainty about it is lying to themselves and to their investors about what it is. I think it's important to bring together different people in the organization to help with both strategy planning and making day-to-day decisions. This is the type of crisis that needs both a breadth and depth of experience, and the only way to do that is with the right group of people. I'd say, in the past, many entrepreneurs, particularly ones who have been successful and seen the growth phase in their business, are not going to be accustomed to having a hard time raising capital. We've seen a lot of very successful businesses that have struggled recently have a hard time raising capital. And so you have to prepare yourself for a different way of selling your business with all this uncertainty in order to access capital like you have before. One suggestion I would have is go to your traditional sources, the ones you've built up a good reputation with, but also try some newer sources as well. Go for, in addition to growth capital, go for other forms of capital that you might be able to access through the government, through these banking programs, or through alternative investors who are really willing to sit down with you, understand your business, and underwrite something for the exact problem you're facing today.
And in some ways, these sets of principles, I think, could be applicable even to, a nonprofit organization to some extent. It's a parallel situation where a director of a nonprofit organization is, in a sense, an entrepreneur running a business. I think these same principles could also apply.
I agree with you. I think, some of the nonprofits and foundations I've been most closely associated with, my kids' schools, healthcare charities, other philanthropic organizations, the way they raise revenue is through fundraising. A lot of them have a large annual event in a nice event space, and that's typically how they bring in a lot of their donations throughout the year. That type of physical interaction is not likely to take place with current social distancing guidelines. And so thinking about doing more regular fundraising events over the internet, again, bringing back the idea of online auctions, selling things on a forward basis so that you have something to look forward to. I think this is the type of innovation that the nonprofit community needs to embrace today.